Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Would you please all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Checkham, can I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Lucci?
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer?
Present.
Mr. McIntosh?
Present. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the last meeting, September 20th.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes from the September 20th, 2023 regular trustees meeting.
And I will second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's 3 ayes. Elected officials reports, fiscal officer, Mr. Tickett.
Yes, as of September 30th, we were 75% of the way through the calendar year. The treasury balance for the 21 active funds within the township treasury was $9.6 million. The treasury balance includes $2.1 million in funds which are set aside for specific projects. Year-to-date expenditures were 74% of the amount appropriated for 2023. Revenue received year-to-date is at 100%, which includes the receipt of our second half Ohio property tax rollback and homestead exemption payments. So as you can see, we are within budget, well within budget. Tax revenue will not be received again until late February of 2024 when we receive our next tax advance. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call our office at 354-7516.
Thank you. Trustees, Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I first just want to say happy birthday to our favorite administrator, Mr. Rose. I hope you're having the best birthday ever.
Thank you.
We had a stakeholder meeting last evening regarding the safety services replacement levy, which is issue 3 on the ballot. Gave a nice presentation, presented facts and information, and ended up with some good dialogue with the residents afterwards. So I thought that went very well. Thank you to our sheriff's office, fire department for being there as well to answer questions. If anyone has questions, please call us directly, call the office. We're happy to have any discussion with anyone. Our phone numbers are listed on the website. So happy to take any questions. We also heard that some residents didn't know about the stakeholder meeting, so it's important to make sure that you give us your email so that we can sign you up for the Eat Grapevine where all this information is, or check our website or our app on your phone. I would like to say congratulations to the Stephen Douglas Corporation. They had their ribbon cutting this week. I was not able to go, but saw the pictures and thought it looked like a great event, and we wish them very well in their new home in Concord. I've had some comments about other developments in the area, especially Sheets, the new ice cream store and car wash that is coming soon. People are also asking about the fire station completion, and I think we have some information to share in a little bit. I did get a call on some work that was being done on 44 in Auburn, which is, I explained, is a state highway. We usually hear about those things, but I'm not sure we did, but there is still work going on 44 and around 90. The Old Stone Schoolhouse, it looks like got a nice new roof. It looks great. And other than that, I hope everyone has a nice rest of the week. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, happy birthday to our administrator, Mr. Rose. Hope you have had a great day. I attended the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the Stephen Douglas Corporation with Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Rose. It was great to see a home business from the area take up ground in Concord Township and welcome them. It's quite a facility, and it looks like a great business within Concord Township, so that was great. I did attend the One Ohio Opiate Settlement District 13 meeting recently, and they are finishing up the software build-out is near completion, so we're hoping to be able to start accepting RFPs when it goes live the end of the month or beginning of November, so we could start distributing some of that money throughout the county to benefit different programs for drug addiction and things of that nature. So they're busy with that. The stakeholder meeting I thought went very well. You know, we had a lot of stakeholders from the community there, sheriff's department, fire department, residents, had great dialogue. It's nice that we're able to present the facts, and the presentation was was well done, and looking forward to hopefully doing another. And we're, again, as Mrs. Lucci said, we're always accessible for any questions anybody has. So reach out to us directly if you need be, or town hall, and we're happy to answer questions about that as that moves forward. It's nice to see the fire station almost complete, and we have some additional information on that. And other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer. Just want to be the third in a row to wish Mr. Rose a happy birthday, and the great day will conclude when we have some birthday cake after the meeting. So, note to everybody: keep the reports quick.
He's going to smash that.
The Stephen Douglas Corporation opening was great.
Yeah.
That is something that we all need to be really proud of. That is the land where they are back in Capitol Parkway. It's been for sale for a long time, and it's nice to see development taking hold. And the JED was very instrumental in working with them, recruiting them in to be members of the JED, to be viable members of the community. They're very excited to be here. It wasn't exactly an easy process, but it went really well. I think we've established a great relationship. In fact, when he opened it, he did make a mention of how great it was to work with all of the various entities here, Concord Township, the county, the fire department, inspections, all of that. So hats off to everybody that was involved in that process, because we did a great job, and we fostered another really great cooperative relationship with the business community, which is great. Following the ribbon cutting, I had the opportunity to walk the Kellogg Creek restoration based on some phone calls I got about that project that's now into phase one of, well, it's been taken apart, but now the creek has been set, and all plantings are in the process, and that's starting to get going. So I had an opportunity to walk that entire project with Mr. Rose and members from Lake County Stormwater, and it is really impressive. When I was a kid, I swam in that lake, so it's kind of interesting, having an idea of like, well, the water was there and the banks and this, and to realize that they've turned it back into a creek, and all of the science behind some of the things that they've done is really fascinating. The way they've orchestrated the creek and made the bends and the turns, and I got a little that's invasive species and whatnot. So it was really informative. It's really neat. I know some of the residents aren't as happy about losing their lake, but I think overall they've done a fine job with that. It's nice to see, again, state money came in, made that happen, helped resolve a problem in our community. We did get word finally, after a lot of conversation, that Williams Road project will be proceeding. The funding was done, the POs are moving forward, and there was a press release today by the engineer's office about how that project's going to go on, so we can look forward to that being opening. I do know that roads and bridges, as far as township concerned, continue to be a conversation, and though Concord is getting its road fixed, there are some other communities that are still waiting to have their roads reopened, and some of those roads have been closed much longer, well over a year. I thought the stakeholder meeting yesterday went fantastic. I want to thank everybody for their present participation in it. I agree with you all that I think it was a great dialogue. I want to say to the community that it's truly a representation of a team effort. It was collaboration with the fire department, with the sheriff's department, with the fiscal officer, and we've all done a lot of work on the budget, done a lot of work on the levy and what we need to do, and then putting the right presentation forward and being transparent, open with the community. I know we got a lot of compliments, and I think we are excited for the opportunity to do more, and we really encourage residents to reach out. This is an important issue, and the trustees have a lot of great information to share. So, and with that, don't want to forget the big news of the night.
Right.
So after a long wait, we are very happy to announce that the fire department will be moving into the brand new Fire Station 1, that the project's currently in punch list and things are being resolved. I was there Monday. Looks really nice. It's getting final cleaned, and we are planning a ribbon cutting ceremony and open house for Thursday, November 16th. We're going to do this in the afternoon and look at around 4 o'clock and look at having some open time into the early evening so residents can come get tours and understand and see firsthand all the things we've been talking about for going on 3 years now.
Right.
So congratulations to the fire department. I know it's long awaited, but we're very happy that you guys get to see that project come to fruition. With that, I conclude my report and turn it over to the departments. Mr. Rose, administration.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh, members of the board. Mr. Technip, members of the audience, good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I accepted a resignation letter that was dated September 27th, 2023, from Tracy Butler from our Recreation Department. Her last day will be on October 10th. I was sad to get this letter, but we will miss Tracy. We thank her for her hard work, especially with all the community events that we have, and we wish her great success on her future endeavors, and she will be missed. As alluded to, the County Engineer's Office did put out a press release on Williams Road. The contractor is going to begin mobilization on Monday, October 9th, so we'll see equipment moving. That project is expected, phase one will be complete sometime in December of 2023, and the road will be open, but it should be noted that due to the timing, they're going to use temporary concrete paving until the asphalt plants open. Then they will come back in the spring once the asphalt plants are open and complete the asphalt work to finalize the project. We put the we put the engineer's press release on our website, so it's right there on the home page. You click it under Concord News and Updates so that anybody can read it. The roof on Old Stone School was replaced. It looks terrific. And that roof was extremely tired. So we're glad that that job is done. Gotten a couple calls already. Trick-or-treating in Concord Township. I know the law director is excited about this, but trick-or-treating in Concord Township will happen on Halloween Day, which is Tuesday, October 31st, from 6 to 8 p.m. We've talked about the stakeholder meeting. I thought it went extremely well. I just want to let everybody know the video and the slide presentation will be up and posted to our website tomorrow. And then we'll also push out links on our social media platforms so that you can click on those links, and that will take you to the presentation and the video. So that'll be available for everybody to take a look at. Good news, Johnny's Auto Spa has broken ground and their construction is underway. That's the new business at Cryle and Old Cryle. We also look forward to updates for the groundbreaking for the creamery, which will be located next to that facility. And then finally, I too would like to welcome Stephen Douglas Corporation to Concord Township. We wish them great success, and I thank them for their investment in our community. And I think it's going to be a great relationship. And they make some really cool stuff. I was able to be on that tour. They make some really, a lot of that stuff's proprietary, but they make some really cool stuff. Yeah. So that was a fun tour. And that concludes my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Fire Department, Chief Sabo.
Good evening, everyone. Evening. For the month of September, we responded to a total of 249 events. As of September 30th this year, we have responded to 2,219 calls. Comparatively to 2022, which was a record-breaking year, we've already surpassed where we were on September 30th of 2022, which was at 2,170. So we're tracking up.
Wow.
So we had 159 EMS events with 121 transports. We had 90 non-EMS events, including 3 fires, 1 vehicle fire inside of Concord, and 2 structure fires we helped with outside of Concord. We gave mutual aid 17 times, received mutual aid 10 times, and we had a staggering 88 overlapping calls for about 36% of our call volume that month were overlapping. The Fire Prevention Bureau was just as busy. They completed 57 inspections, accounting for about 78 hours. They did 7 plan reviews, accounting for about 16 hours, and completed about 5 hours of continuing education. They were also out at Frontage Labs over 2 days, training 102 employees on how to respond to fires at their business, and including fire extinguisher training. So they were quite busy as well. On the agenda for this evening, item B is just a request for a purchase order to Stryker I want to thank Karen Pierce, our administrative assistant, and Chief Bedell and Brian Fleming and Bob Ivancic. They put a lot of time into a grant to the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation that is funding $19,280.59 for a load system in one of our ambulances that is getting quite tired. We put that in many years ago, and it's failing more than it's succeeding. So it needs immediate replacement, and that grant is going to go a long way to help us get that replaced. So I appreciate a affirmative vote on that. And I will tell you, and this is kind of a plug more than anything, but on October 22nd, the Concord Township Professional Firefighters Local 3329 is going to be doing a fundraiser at 12 o'clock at the Red Hawk Grill. This is going to benefit a local firefighter. His name is Jesse Sopko. Jesse was involved in a serious ambulance crash in Ashtabula County a couple weeks ago. Jesse is still at the trauma center, recovering from his injuries, and it is. I don't want to say he's out of the woods. He still has a long road to go, and we keep praying for him and his family. But the firefighters already had a tailgate fundraiser planned, and they changed direction and said that the proceeds would benefit Jesse and his family. So if you're able to make it, we appreciate seeing you out there. You don't have to buy tickets or anything. You just show up, and they'll have raffles and all kinds of stuff for you there. So with that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Service Department.
Good evening, everyone. The Service Department in the month of September completed the Durapatch repairs to the asphalt roads throughout the township. Our concrete crew performed slab replacements, pouring approximately 300 yards of concrete. Drainage crews performed easement maintenance, and ditch maintenance. In the coming weeks, our equipment maintenance department will be undercoating our fleet and prepping the plow trucks for winter operations. Nobody wants to hear that. The Service Department's new storage building under construction next to Fire Station 1 is progressing well. The contractor is ahead of schedule. Service Department crews installed the asphalt grindings around the perimeter of the building. Grindings are recycled from our road resurfacing projects from the summer. The installation of the metal roofing and siding is expected to begin this week, along with underground electric service. Additional projects completed, as mentioned, the roof replacement of Old Stone School and the Service Department's material storage bin. Both structures had metal roofs installed with a 40-year warranty. The yard waste drop-off in the Service Department has been quite busy. Residents taking advantage of the service. The yard waste drop-off is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 2:30 p.m. The annual brush day collections are scheduled for Saturdays, October 14th and 21st from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents can bring brush to the Service Department. Limbs are not to exceed 4 inches in diameter, and no stumps, lumber, landscape ties, or railroad ties are permitted. On these days, residents may also drop off yard waste. The yard waste is to be in paper biodegradable bags. The Service Department encourages residents with questions and concerns to contact us at 440-350-3225 or by email at concordtwp.com under service. And we hope everybody has a good, happy Halloween, and the Service Department says happy birthday to the administrator. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Zoning, Mrs. Heather Freeman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Happy birthday, Mr. Rose. All right, so during the month of September, the zoning department staff processed 35 zoning permit applications and collected roughly $6,900 in fees. Staff was also busy performing inspections in the field and completed 88 property inspections with open zoning permits and issued 41 zoning certificate of compliances. Staff also received and followed up on 13 new complaints about potential zoning violations. At the September Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, the board reviewed 5 variance applications. 3 of those applications were approved, 1 was denied, and 1 was approved with conditions. The October Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for next week has been canceled due to no business. At last night's zoning commission meeting, the board conducted an informal review on a concept plan for a proposed commercial project at the corner of Cryle Road and Hunting Lake Drive. The project includes a multi-tenant office/retail building and potentially a standalone coffee shop or counter service restaurant with possibly a drive-through. The project will be formally submitted for review to the township boards sometime in the near future. Should residents have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact the zoning department at 354-7506. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Recreation, Mr. Supler.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to do a quick recap of our September events that we had. On Thursday, September 14th, we had our fall concert featuring 4 kings and a queen. I think Mr. Rose was there, Mr. Technic was there as well. I think everyone there kind of agreed it was probably one of our best concerts that we had all season long. They put on a really fantastic show. They got the crowd involved, dancing, all that kind of stuff. Even received a standing ovation from a very well-attended crowd to cap off the night. So it was a really great night. Saturday, September 16th, we had our first outdoor movie night at the gazebo featuring Super Mario Bros. I want to first thank our sponsor for that, which was Sound of Life Hearing, which is here in Concord Township. So a special thanks to them for sponsoring the cost of that for us. We had about 100 people for that event, which was a great number. Lots of families, young kids, all that kind of stuff, which is what we want to see. It's always great to see that. Thanks to the fire department for being there and making fresh popcorn for everyone. And the recreation department supplied some hot chocolate, which both were a huge hit. During that event, I connected with Dr. Chris Basich, who's the principal at Lamouth, and we have met and discussed many new ideas that we're hoping to collaborate with, which is a great thing to get the schools involved. And we'll actually have an official announcement on a special event coming up in early November that will take place at Lamouth. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll have more information about that soon. Now for some of our upcoming programs and events. Today we had, for our 55 plus group, we had Trivia 2.0 with Dennis Sutcliffe. Next Tuesday is Library Tuesday with Mentor Public Library, and they'll be doing a feature called The Sinking of the Bismarck. October 11th, which is a Wednesday, is Organizing and Downsizing. October 18th, we have Personal and Tragic Life of Vincent van Gogh by Susan Canavino. And October 25th is our bingo, which is a costume party. Our Mind and Body Martial Arts is happening every Tuesday and Thursday at the Community Center. We have dance and ballet classes on Thursday evenings. Some of our adult programs, we have gentle yoga, yoga Pilates fusion, gentle yoga in the evening time, make and take soap and perfume classes with Joanna Orgavan, and then our Let's Cook with LaDonna Altman on Thursday, October 19th is Cuban Picadillo. Our special events coming up. Next weekend is our fall indoor garage sale. We have over 20 vendors for that event. We're still actually sold out with vendors, which is great. It's a free admission event held at the community center. Our times for that are Friday, October 13th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturday, October 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our big event for the fall is our Halloween Spooktacular, which is Saturday, October 21st. We're going to be having In Cahoots play. That's our last rain out from the summer. That event will start at 11:30 with kids events and games, photo booth area, costume contest with winner taking home a trophy. Music will be from 12 to 2 p.m. that day. And we're going to have Queen Bean Coffee Truck there and Delish Mobile Food Kitchen, who will be covering our lunchtime needs for everyone as well. And then Concord Fire Department and Lake County Sheriff's Department will be there as well, handing out candy. And then the Recreation Department will have plenty of extra snacks and specialty items for people to have as well. Our adaptive Halloween party is Friday, October 27th. That's for our special needs community. We'll have DJ, dancing, costume contest, food, and more. And then, as others have stated, trick-or-treating will be on October 31st from 6 to 8. Oldstone School and Dan Maxon is running a junior historian program, which celebrates Concord Township history through games and arts. That is going to be held on October 19th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That costs us $5 a person. You can call the recreation department to sign up for that. The community center is very booked up between now and the end of the year. We have one Sunday left in November, and outside of that, we are booked solid on the weekends, so that's great. Wow. We have a few Fridays left, but the weekends are pretty much all booked up, so that's great for us. We're very busy there. Please continue to sign up for the e-grapevine that we all said. Please call the recreation department. You can do that on the website as well, but we don't want people to miss vital information and program offerings, all that kind of stuff. So please get signed up for the e-grapevine that goes out once a month. And you can call the recreation department at 440-639-4650, and we can assist you with that. And lastly, as Mr. Rose indicated, I would like to acknowledge the departure of Tracy Butler from the recreation department as she leaves for another opportunity. But she is staying local here at a local business. She's staying more towards her background and merchandise, so she's actually going to be working at Sophia's Boutique, I believe it's called, here in Concord, so she won't be far. So we'll be seeing plenty of her. I want to thank her for all her hard work, especially with our special events, Concord Community Day, as well as our 55-plus group. Susie, Rachel, and myself will miss having her around, but we wish her the best in her next endeavors. So, and Mr. Rose, happy birthday. With that, I would like to conclude my report, and thank you.
Thank you. We will certainly miss Tracy. She is
Great.
in the whole rec department, but I mean, you always see her at the events, running around, working
Always a
hard,
trooper, yeah.
Always
smiling on her
smiling.
face. Yeah.
Yep.
Doing a great job.
Concord Law Enforcement, Sergeant and Falcon.
Good evening,
Good evening.
and happy birthday, Mr. Rose. Thanks for the good cake we're going to be having here shortly.
My pleasure.
For September 2023, the Sheriff's Office handled 1,104 events, or calls for service, rather. 3 of them were injury accidents. There were 60 property damage accidents involving vehicles. We arrested an adult female for domestic violence and disrupting public services, an adult male for disorderly conduct, and then 2 adult females for OVI and 2 adult males for OVI, and then another adult male for domestic violence and aggravated menacing, and an adult female for leaving the scene of an accident. We handled 48 alarms, residential and business alarms. We issued 16 citations for various traffic enforcement violations, issued 173 warnings for various traffic violations. 3 of those were driving under suspension. We conducted 66 business checks and 74 crime prevention checks. And I kind of wanted to touch on this real quick. What is a crime prevention check? Deputies sometimes, not always, take numbers for when they're doing some special patrol functions, where if you have a specific neighborhood that you're spending time in, or if you have had an increase in call volume and you want to, or a complaint for traffic violations, or for a complaint for juvenile complaints, the deputies get into those neighborhoods and they kind of spend some time in there and take some extra proactivity. So we did conduct 74 of those. Now, is that number higher generally for being in the neighborhoods? Absolutely, because not every time a deputy, we kind of leave it up to them when they want to make a number. So the deputies do go into the neighborhoods more. In fact, I was just in 5 today during my tour of duty in Concord, and I didn't take a number. So that's just kind of an example. The business checks are when we're checking out Lucky's, we're checking out Burgers to Beer Complex, we're checking out Concord Plaza, and we're spending some time there, and we're checking on our neighbors, which are our business partners. Also, we had 2 burglaries. One wasn't kind of a burglary, but just for classification reasons, we labeled it a burglary. And that was a landlord entered somebody's house without permission, and he was educated on that. Another one was somebody arrived home and found some items disheveled inside their house. We collected DNA, we collected fingerprints. Those are at the crime lab right now, and it's being followed up on. We had 13 disturbances, 48 suspicious circumstances, vehicles, and persons, 15 welfare checks, 17 noise complaints, and 11 juvenile complaints, just to name a few of that 1,104. The speed trailer's been on Mountain Park, and I'm going to be picking that up here shortly, charging it up and moving it somewhere else. We will have extra deputies on patrol for Halloween, including 2 new bike patrolmen, Deputy Tkavic and Deputy Gaylog. They actually went to bike training. It's a pretty intense 2-week course. They got a lot of bumps and bruises from it, but they have been out there actually already riding through some of the neighborhoods, but they will be out on Halloween night as well as some other extra deputies. We will be at the Halloween Spectacular, like Sean said, and the Lake County Sheriff's Office SWAT team conducted some training with the area fire departments and local police agencies, giving some of these other agencies some training on open air assaults. We did that at the fairgrounds. So we work very closely with our local public safety police and fire agencies, and we try to make sure everybody's trained on the same level and ready to respond if something like that, something unforeseen happens. With that, I am concluded.
Thank you, Sergeant. Next item on the agenda is the audience. Is there anyone in the audience who wish to address the board?
I like the lights. It's bright in here. Kept me from taking my nap. Listen, my name is Mike Warner. I live at 6901 Ravenna Road here in Concord. I've been here for 27 years. I retired from the fire department after 21 years. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how important that stakeholder meeting was last night and how informative it was. So I encourage anyone to watch it on TV. And if I think you're going to do another one, take the time to listen, because the facts and figures don't lie. This Board of Trustees has been very upfront and telling the communities what we need and how important it is to have good law enforcement, fire service in our community. Because I'm a retired person now. Now, I always tell them I'm on a fixed income and they all laugh at me. But the fact is, Heather will tell you, I just put a lot of money into my home so that my wife and I can stay there for a long time, because we enjoy this community. We enjoy the services that we receive in this community and the safety. The important thing for any community is when you have a good school system, and we have 3 school systems that are all very good. We have a good law enforcement through the sheriff's office as well as the fire department. When you have those 3 things in your community doing well and taking care of the public, your community will always be in a safe area, as well as allowing people to come into our community and feel safe and want to come to our community, not only to shop, but to live and to raise their families. And in our community, if I remember when I was still coming up here and giving you reports every month back in a couple of years ago, more than 65% of the people in Concord Township were over 55 years of age. And that means that we have a lot of senior population, which requires more services. More services in the housing developments, because people are building bigger homes. They want to live here, make this part of their retirement, and live in a safe community. So the public safety levy, we were kind of sitting at a restaurant one day, Judge Malcheski and I, and back then Trustee Mtg, talking about how can we help make sure our community is safe by encouraging to have more deputies in with the sheriff's office and not having our own police department. Because, by the way, you made that a very good statement last night. The cost to have your own police department, because you have to have a detective bureau, your court services, all those things are covered by the sheriff's office, and you're paying a small portion of that to have additional deputies patrolling the roads and responding to calls in this community and working hand in hand with the fire department. That's the important thing. Between Sheriff Dunlap and Sheriff Liam Bruno, the handshake between the fire department and the sheriff's office has been the best it's ever been in many years. And that started with that public safety levy and showing that we were a team, along with the township trustees. So all of those things were very important, but we talked about that levy. How can we make it better? And that was when we came up with the public safety levy. And so now, with inflation and home values and all those things going up, you know, when I was here, we bought an ambulance for 200 and some thousand. And now 45% higher are the costs for an ambulance. And I can tell you that when you're riding this, and I had to about 2.5 years ago, our guys got to haul me in after a little bit of a crash with a couple of deer. They're dead, I'm alive. But I just wanted you to know the service that you receive by these guys is top of the line. We hired good people, and the only way to keep good people is to have good funding to maintain those people in your community. Because in today's world, it's hard to get people. And as you talked about earlier, the Cleveland Police Department had a large academy for years. And now they were down to like 25 members applying to be police officers, and 11 of them walked out. It's terrible. And the problem is, Peter is trying to rob Paul with these transfers and lateral transfers. And in order to keep good quality people in our community, they're going to take care of people like me and old people, you know, and the younger ones. We've got to maintain those, and this levy will do that. You guys have done a good job laying it out for the next 5 years and allowing our community to have the funding it needs to maintain the level of service that we expect and that we're getting today from both law enforcement with the sheriff's office and with the fire department. So I just came here because I wanted to make sure that people knew that the retired fire chief that lives in this town, that's not moving, that's on a fixed income, that I am older, is not leaving. And I wouldn't be here telling you to vote for this, even though it's a small increase. It seems like a large increase, but when you look at the overall dollar amount that's spent, 17 cents goes to the township. For both police, fire, roads, all of those things, that's a small percentage. And people say, well, yeah, but my taxes are higher. You can't blame the township. They have kept their levies at a minimum for years. And now to have a small increase to maintain the services, to give us this protection that we need, gets my support. And if anybody asks me, I'll be glad to support that. All you got to do is stop by and just don't touch my signs. Got it? I wish you the best of luck. I'll be here to support. I'd like a big sign down there where I have the motorcycle sign for the levy. And if you need me to go out, and I heard somebody on the phone today, and I hope that when you were in office hours, that lady will ask me for a sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, moving on, old business, there's none. We'll take on the new business for this evening, which is
Okay,
a short list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve a step increase for Chad Gillenwater to 28.23 hourly effective 9/18/23.
And I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3 ayes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the fire department's PO to Stryker in the amount of $25,707.45 for ambulance power load Ohio BWC grant amount of $19,280.59, and Concord Fire Department's costs will be $6,426.86.
And I will second.
Discussion?
I would just like to commend the fire department for applying for that
Yeah.
grant. I mean, I know how it was
Damn good.
in law enforcement. I did grants at the sheriff's department. It's a lot of work to fill out a grant application, and there's a lot of competition. And to get those funds and offset the cost to the community, it's, you know, I commend you for that. It's a lot of work. Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like Karen does a great job.
It's
And Karen, yes.
I know we apply for a lot of grants and don't always get them,
Right.
but I think I had said earlier at some point yesterday or tonight about operations costs being
Right.
very managed over the years. This is another great example,
Great example.
about how we're
Right.
taking care of our community and going out and getting everything that we
Yeah,
can.
trying to
So,
offset the
yep.
cost. So
So thank you, yes. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And 3 ayes. Future meetings and announcements, please.
Yes, on October 9th, Town Hall will be closed in observance of Columbus Day. The October 11th BZA meeting has been canceled. And on October 18th, trustee office hours will be held in the conference room at Town Hall. And following that at 7:30, a trustee meeting will be held at Town Hall.
All right. If not, we will adjourn tonight's meeting. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice work.